Hi, I'm Guy Waterman with Oracle HCM Product Development, and welcome to CloudWorld 2022. Today's session is how personalization improves employee experiences. Our goal today is to talk about powerful extensibility capabilities that are delivered as part of the HCM suite. This capability enables us to configure, extend, integrate, and compose business processes in a complementary fashion, enabling our customers to meet the HR challenges they face every day. Today's conversation focuses on extensibility and adaptability based upon what we can say and do today, and provide a glimpse of where we're headed. A significant strength of Fusion Apps and the Cloud HCM solution is to deliver experiences that are tailored to the individual user, perhaps based upon their organization, the job they hold, the access of certifications that they have, context of the transactions they're performing. Oracle Cloud HCM can look and feel and present data in a very different way based upon those factors. Delivering a personalized experience is something that most customers embrace and deploy as part of their HCM implementation. One of the key investment themes in the Cloud HCM family of Fusion applications is the notion that HR must be agile to be effective. Static processes and support of the status quo is not an adequate strategy if you're going to lead the workforce of dynamic, engaged team members that drive your business forward. Let's look at how integration connected with HR business processes helps enable agile HR in your organization. Cloud HCM offers a rich set of personalization capabilities. These include branding controls for spotlight pages and work areas, role-specific experiences that conditionally display fields or make fields mandatory, composable processes that enable customers to create and execute autocomplete rules, define defaulting and validation rules, conditionally apply rules that vary transaction experiences by user role, by group, business unit, legal entity, or other specification. Personalized page display options that enable page configuration to configure new user experiences, and the ability to build and orchestrate business processes that span other systems and make the resulting data available to HCM for use. These personalization capabilities can be viewed as building blocks to delivering individualized experiences for your workforce. Delivering superior employee experiences is a top priority for organizations as it directly impacts employee satisfaction, retention, and what employees want in their employee experience. And what employees want in their experience has indeed changed. Employees want experiences that they have at work to be like the consumer experiences they have outside of work. Employee experiences need to be meaningful, they need to be relevant to me, and they need to be user-friendly. Given the new expectations, organizations are being pushed to redesign and improve employee experiences, and all this starts with understanding what your employees want. After talking to our customers, we discovered common themes for improving employee experiences. And the first one is that everything needs to be personalized and tailored to the individual. Understand who I am, understand me. Employees expect organizations to use their individual information and personalize experiences with their work information, just like you would in the consumer realm. Secondly, employees also want direction and guidance so they can deliver the best work that they have today and into the future. They want to make day-to-day moments simple and make big moments special. Employees also want to feel connected to their manager, team, and to their colleagues and company culture. They want a sense of belonging to, they want to belong to what matters to them, no matter what, where they are or where they're working and how they're working. They want to have that sense of connectivity. And HR is really trying to build the way to deliver these kinds of experiences that meet those employee expectations. So with this personalization approach, the capabilities within the application that we're delivering for organizations today enable different personalization capabilities. There's branding capabilities that we have that have been really engineered into the system from the very beginning. We've taken a look at things around advances in the platform, adding security to this, evolving the new look and feel, and the ability to add conditional logic to different behaviors have all been improved within the platform. There are longstanding capabilities to brand and configure pages, define defaults, add and change fields. And that leads to the composition of new business processes within the solution. And that's something that we're layering in as time continues on and as the platform continues to mature, providing you even more control and depth of the configuration, the depth of the personalization of the experiences for the workforce. So some of the examples that we have here. You've got the ability to change themes and reflect your brands, your colors, your approach to the system. So the system is not going to look like an Oracle HCM system. It should look like your company's HCM system. The branding controls can also impact the page structure. They also look at things like global text editing. If you were to look at something like, on the terminology, change the name from journeys to pathways, you're not having to go through every place where journeys has been placed on a page in the system. You can just replace it one time, and then the system will make those populated change for you throughout the application everywhere that term is used. So that's pretty powerful, very convenient, and it enables you to, again, make that system a bit more yours than it is what's delivered out of the box from Oracle. In the Experience Design Studio, and this is another layer within the HCM Cloud, you can further make the system reflect your organization preferences by changing the theming on the page. You can change colors of icons. Believe it or not, that makes a big difference to organizations. The background being a picture of your headquarters, it might end up being the local office, it might end up being some of the people from your workforce that are going to be embedded in the themes of different pages that the employees are going to use. So it's important that we look at the landing pages and the content that's delivered within the application to really reflect where you're working and what you're doing. Now, the User Design Studio, the Experience Design Studio, also has the ability to enable us to conditionally display fields or hide fields. So we can take a look at different rules, and then we can apply those to how the page is going to behave. You can change processes and options like limiting visibility of compensation with promotions. So within a process flow, I may want to exclude promotions from having a salary component because we've separated those two things. The Experience Design Studio also helps teams incorporate all kinds of rules, whether they're predefined that we've delivered or things that you've come up with on your own. And that helps HR continue to be agile and not just react, but be able to adjust to new processes that may be required based upon local laws or changes in environmental conditions that we've all experienced in the past couple years. Now, there are also rules for guided processes that we have that can be executed on a personalized basis. They can also determine from a personalized basis what's going to display from sections of the page as well. So you have a lot of flexibility within the application just by using the Experience Design Studio. And as always, these capabilities are built into the system. They are update safe. As we get new releases, they will automatically roll forward and you won't have to do any additional work to make them work. Now, one of the other things that we've done here is an example of the autocomplete rules. And I wanted you just to see that this is a low, no-code environment. And we call it autocomplete because you get to a certain point in transactions and you just want the system to finish it for you. I liken it to when you're playing solitaire on the computer. And excuse me, and you get to that point in the game where you know that you've finished, and the system can move all the cards to the top stacks for you. And it does it very quickly, very accurately, but it's very convenient as well. And that's the same kind of approach that we want to take with HR business transactions, because we may end up getting to the end of the transaction process. There's still maybe 3 or 4 tasks that need to be completed, and we can automate those. There's only one path that you need to go down, but we're also at that point, we are completing the process. We're not abandoning a transaction in mid-completion status and then it gets lost. The autocomplete process is something that we also have to guide individuals to take certain paths based upon previous actions that they've taken. But if you think about it, our development team works with you specifically to implement any of these changes, to make the adoption of them very simple, to make it very fast. And again, these are update safe capabilities that are delivered. In some of these situations, we've actually gone in and shared the templates that your fellow customers have created and made those available on Cloud Customer Connect. So if you're out on Cloud Customer Connect and you start seeing some of the autocomplete library entries, those would refer to what we're talking about here with the Experience Design Studio. And next, simplifying connectivity. We talked about simplifying how things are displayed and how they'll be presented to you from a personalization perspective. To simplify connectivity, we deliver a lot of integration with our partners. So Oracle development, along with our partner development teams, have verified that these integrations work, and we maintain them. We deliver them as part of the solutions that are designed really to help you connect to other portions of your HR ecosystem. One of the things that I've seen here is that we've heard that Oracle doesn't provide many of these delivered integrations, and there are dozens upon dozens of them that are available on the cloud marketplace and also on My Oracle Support. They are maintained for you. You don't have to do any of the updates as we move from release to release. So really go out and take a look at some of them. I've organized some of these by product area. You may be familiar with our payroll partners, but there are others out there in the learning area and in the background check area as you start looking at recruiting. And then there are other ones that are actually connecting to a network, like the benefits providers here. And they actually represent integration to hundreds of benefits providers, but you're only having to maintain a relationship with that one network provider. So take a look at these integrations. These are things that are, again, delivered out of the box for you. And we also deliver an integration framework that is largely based upon bulk movement of data, real-time movement of data, and a lot of those capabilities are going to be a lot of those capabilities are designed for your HR IT team to use and then adapt to move data between other parts of your HR ecosystem. Typically, what we find is that the footprint within HCM is broad enough to where we're collapsing a lot of the other systems that may have previously requested information from the HCM system. But now as we start looking at it, there are APIs that exist for us to drive maybe a business transaction, but not have to have the data reside in an external system. We also can have extracts of data to provide updates of information if in fact that information is needed outside of HCM. There are also other capabilities that we deliver around alerting structures, around notifications that you may have hired a new critical, a job for a critical open position, and you want the notification to go out within the system. Those are things that we've been able to do as well. So within the integration framework, this is something that we delivered, we enable for you all, and the access to the data within the system is secure. It respects the security infrastructure. And the other thing is that these capabilities are also available when you're starting to use things like the digital assistant, the same security and business rules that you've put in place for the HCM Experience Design Studio also apply here in the integration framework. So with that, I'm going to move on to the next level of extensibility. So we talked about changing pages, hiding fields, depending upon who you are and other characteristics that you may have associated with your personal profile. You influence the way that the system is going to behave. Within extensibility, I really want to share with you some of the things that we're doing now that will actually change the way that the system looks and behaves in a much simpler manner than we're even doing today. So we know that the state-of-the-art user experience is one that makes us really feel good and proud about what we accomplished. There's nothing like getting a new system, and when you actually go in and take a look at it, that you believe that it is intuitive, it's something to be proud of, it's something that you would like to show off to friends. It is something that is super easy to use, and we feel that we've done this from our perspective in investing in something that was called the Redwood user experience. This is not just a design concept, it is a new philosophy on how we're developing and delivering systems. I'd like to show you some examples of things that we've done here and see what your reactions are. If you're a new customer, these may be things that you understand as part of the system because you experienced them in the demonstration. For existing customers, we found many of you haven't experienced a lot of these, so I've listed out some of the ones that we've done a significant update for. Under the Redwood modernization, as I mentioned before, it's not just user experience, it's a fundamentally different way that you interact with Oracle and the data managed in Oracle services. Some of the content that we've seen here include connections. This is your new org chart capability, and it has a sliding panel associated with it. The other things that we've seen, the new learning experience platform that you've seen with the learning recommendations that are out there. We've seen even brand new capabilities around dynamic skills with the ability for you to select skills and self-assess the competency levels of those skills. We also have something called touch points that is a more of a talent management manager coaching solution as part of Oracle Me. And then, of course, there's the Journeys capabilities that are Redwood based as well. So as you can see, there's an awful lot of capabilities that we've delivered in this new design construct. But really, what is it? In the solution, there's many building blocks that are part of what we're talking about in the user experience. Part of it is the search capabilities. It's an elastic search construct, very comprehensive, allows the reach of search to go much deeper into HCM. So it's not a keyword search. It actually goes into content and will provide richer results, more meaningful results to the individual requester. We're expanding every page. We're extending every page using the standardized tools. And these tools, you'll hear me talk about Visual Builder, but we're actually working toward evolving the entire suite to embrace this approach. There are standard page components. There are page templates that we've delivered around how you're going to design the pages. They're also embedding artificial intelligence into the applications, as you can see here with recommendations that have come up. We're also, within the context of the page itself, being able to recommend default values to speed input. And then on the top right-hand side, we talk about actually monitoring the page and the performance and how satisfied your workers and the users are with the page based upon the speed that the transaction is completed, the number of times that they abandon or feel the telemetry can determine whether or not that customer, that user experienced the results that they expected from using the page. So all of these are incorporated into us providing feedback in how we need to develop and design pages moving forward. And as I mentioned, this is all based upon a new template, a new capability that we've delivered within the Oracle Cloud infrastructure that's called the Visual Builder Studio. Now, the VB Studio is a low, excuse me, a low no-code development environment that uses Oracle Jet. Now, Jet is the Java extension toolkit, and it's a nice way of us saying that we're leveraging open source technologies, including JavaScript, CSS3, and more importantly, delivering this HTML5 design and development principles within the application to enable us to do things like, standardize the use of our development approach across all of the Fusion and Oracle development teams. The platform also enables the advancement of cloud by promoting the standardized ways that we're delivering solutions to leverage CI/CD, which is the continuous integration and continuous development. So we're looking at that being uptime that enables us to reduce dependency as we move towards that microservices architecture adoption. And VB Studio does much more than just provide extensibility capabilities. It really provides that framework that we're using to build the applications. Now, within the same environment, you can extend the solution. Now, you may not have realized that up to this point because we've been slow to introduce this capability, making sure that we've provided the right types of opportunities for you to be able to adopt the changes. But the other things that we've done here is that one of the differences within the Visual Builder is that I can not only change an existing system page, I can actually adopt new functionality and build new processes and pages within the same environment that the Fusion apps are delivered in. And that's very different than what we've done before. This means that you have the same tools that we use to build the system. You're using the same security, the same data definitions. Then you can also access things with the same reporting tools. So it truly becomes a unified extension capability. So what we're looking at here is really a commitment that we're very, very proud of. And the very same cloud-based infrastructure, the database, the middleware, the application, and tools that we're using, we're making those available to you and to our customers. And you'll see here that there are partner platforms and partner solutions that are being introduced using the same toolkit and the same extensibility tools that we have provided here. Underneath this, we actually have then the ability to, once you become proficient in the platform, be able to use them, the same tools that we've used to produce the same high quality experience that we're delivering, you can deliver as well. Now, the tools that the portions of the HCM system that apply here are all of those that we referenced in the previous slides that have the Redwood UI components, all of the libraries associated with it, the tools and the services. You can access those by using the Visual Builder capabilities to extend and change them. So quickly, I was just going to share with you a couple of screenshots that show you what that looks like. You may have seen this as part of a Cloud Customer Connect session that our Center of Excellence has provided. But we're going to go ahead and modify one of the connections pages. And on this one, what we're going to do is we're going to try and hide the department pages. And the first thing that I'm going to do is on a page, if you have the right security access, as an administrator, assume that that's my role, I can go in top right-hand corner and I can say I want to administer the page. Now, this is a change that would be introduced immediately for all users. I'm not going to put a lot of conditional logic in it, but you certainly could. Next, what I'll do is I'll open up the profile component of the pages, and then I will go and select the department page and the department field. And by just clicking the X button, that's going to delete it from the page. So we'll see what that looks like. And then I'm left with, in that same area, just the business unit is going to be left on the page. So as I move forward, save the page, commit it, and then I can see down here where there was the department on the previous pages, it's now been removed for all users. So just a quick example that low, no code, super simple to do, very powerful. You can begin to tailor pages and take control of what your system looks like. Now, from an evolution standpoint, where are we headed? And I was considering whether or not to just finish the presentation here or continue on with one more, because this isn't your classic development or low no-code environment, but it is one that influences the way that people work with the system. So the user experiences and extensibility within the applications, this would be more targeted to your HR partner that can do the configuration. And it really starts with Oracle Me. Now, Oracle Me is a combination of new products and existing products and solutions, all focused on improving how workers connect and perform the way they work and the way they need to complete their work. It's designed to be a complete experience platform, and you probably heard about the employee experience platforms that have been released by most players in the market over the past 18 months. But what we're trying to do here is really provide that environment where workers can engage the work they need to perform, get it done quickly, and then have the necessary assistance in there so that they're not abandoning the transaction. And our customers have noted the one thing that slows adoption of self-service in HCM is that users do not have access to the information they need to finish the tasks that are asked to perform. I mean, it sounds simple, but it's not. When you're looking at self-service, if I'm not confident I'm going to be able to finish something, why would I even bother starting a transaction when I know I'm going to have to go back and finish it once I get back to my desk or connect to a laptop or something like that? So that leads to abandoned processes. And that's been the inhibitor, from my perspective, of self-service adoption. And with all of the wonderful user experiences that we've had out there up to this point, and with Oracle Journeys, we've seen that adoption, or rather abandonment of transactions, is a real problem. But with Oracle Me, it's designed to bring all the information and content together that user needs. We're trying to figure out how we can shorten the transaction times by pushing information to you at the point of need, at the point of interaction, and whether that's in the form of additional information, maybe a guided navigation. Where do I go next, right? What we're trying to do is to give the user the confidence that they know when they begin a transaction, they're going to be able to complete it and not have to come back and touch it again later. So Oracle Me also provides a digital assistant, which is part of the headless applications that will allow you to also access the same types of business processes, starting from places like Slack or Microsoft Teams. And the interesting thing is that a lot of the same capabilities are available in that environment. We can navigate you either to a separate window or provide you the actual data that's needed to complete the transaction from within those environments. So with Oracle Me and the digital assistant and Journeys, you're going to have the ability to complete these transactions. And those are going to be the areas within Oracle Me that I'm going to focus on here. So at the core of the enhanced capabilities of Journeys with Oracle Me is the addition of contextual guidance. And now we had introduced in 22B Oracle Journeys, but now we have contextual guidance, and that was introduced in 22C. And it makes it easier for employees to find and complete their most important actions. Now, using contextual journeys, users can opt conditionally, if they want to have the traditional responsive user experience replaced with a journey. So what that means is, rather than just going through the normal page flow that we've done previously, we will give you a checklist with guided functionality, with additional content that's in there. And again, that's something that you can choose if that's what your preferred mechanism is for interacting with the system. We also have examples, that I'll show you next, which is someone going in and taking a look from a contextual standpoint at launching a journey from a home page, and how, rather than you going to a transactional page, it's going to put me into that journey context. So here you can see from the left-hand side, I've got my quick actions. If I were to click on my promotion selection here, based upon my previous selections or one that have been chosen for me, it brings me into a journey that has a step-by-step process to provide me context around what's going to be involved with that promotion process. Now, if I'm an HR business partner, I may end up finding something like this, where one of the flows would end up being, rather than me going to a journey where you can see that's the top option, so you go from promotion to the individual, and maybe it's someone that I'm working with in another country and I'm just not familiar with it. I prefer to go to a journey. But for employees that are based in my home office, I'm very confident about that one, and I can probably complete that process within 2 or 3 clicks. I may want it to go to the traditional page flow, and that's what you're seeing here. So you have the ability to vary the process. Remember, back to personalization, it's one of the examples that we have there. And then, with guided journeys, I know that there's an awful lot of emphasis these days on being able to access help when you need it. There are things out there like Oracle Learning that has enabled us to embed some of that content directly within the application itself. Here in Journeys itself, we can do that. We can embed the guidance at different levels of the transactions. They can be videos, they can be just reference information, they can be navigation as well. So these are some of the capabilities that we've added to Journeys to help you go a little bit deeper and provide a little richer experience for your employees. And lastly, as I think you can see this one, we also have the ability to embed that icon. You can do it at the header level of a transaction. You can do it at the step level of a transaction. You can embed these requests for you to get assistance in guided learning or the guided journey experience anywhere within the system. And lastly, as we are beginning to wrap up here, there's also the ability to connect to third-party solutions. Now, there's always a request about this, that working with what's called Journeys Booster, which is based upon Oracle Process Automation Cloud, we are able to build business processes that extend beyond the realm of the Fusion applications and incorporate business processes like maybe ordering a uniform or creating an identification badge for an individual to access the campus. Those are things that are typically done outside of your HCM system, but you want the closed loop to come back in and say, yes, that he did receive a badge or they did receive their uniform, and they're able to start their work the next day with the appropriate equipment. So the Process Automation Cloud does come at an additional cost. Talk to your salesperson about that one, but it does provide really a whole nother level of options for you to look at the extensibility that's available, not only within the Fusion applications, but within your HCM ecosystem. So just wrapping up on Oracle Me, it does include Journeys. It includes those digital assistants that we talked about. Take a look at the HR help desk, because Journeys, the Process Automation Cloud and Journeys Booster can also work within action plans for HR help desk users. And then we have some other business functions that are definitely focused on helping managers more effectively manage their teams. Wasn't the purpose of the conversation today, so we're going to just move on to that summary slide here. The summary that we're looking at is that, what were we looking at today? We were talking about extensibility within the HCM cloud. We have different degrees of that, whether it's modifying a page, whether it is delivering personalization and contextual guidance to support that employee experience, to really get beyond looking at changing once for the entire organization, but conditionally being able to deliver meaningful experiences that might vary based upon who you are, or maybe even the context that you're performing a transaction. So I was hoping that I shared some of those things with you today. The other thing is that the extensibility continues to evolve. It continues to be scalable. It continues to be supportable. And you're also able to, by performing these extensions using the tools that we provide, do it in an update safe manner. More importantly, what I'm finding is that customers are really liking the fact that this is available on a single platform and that they're able to get everything done in one place. That's part of Oracle HCM Cloud. It's also part of Oracle Fusion applications. I hope that this was helpful and provided you some insight. And we look forward to seeing those of you that can make it to CloudWorld here And if not, please feel free to reach out. You've got my email there with any questions that I might be able to help answer.